Hello everyone, this is Kasim from PHPTRAVELS, and in this video we will be mostly talking about the upcoming version of PHPTRAVELS version 10. And thank you for joining our WhatsApp group, and would love to come more closer so that we can understand each other and we can build something out of the box. And in this video, I will be going through all the developments we have done so far, and we need more your feedbacks so that we can improve and build something that is very exceptional to the travel industry. In this video, I will be going through all the developments and the enhancement improvements we have done so far. So let's just get started. I have combined a few list of current developments, and further definitely we will be going on the developments and improvement based whatever you guys suggest in the WhatsApp groups or maybe email or whatever the medium you like. So this video we will see what improvements we have in our system. For example, we have introduced it a new design system along with the tailwind components. Then we have modules. Before the modules on another server. Right now we are just going to be giving in the entire code base directly in the current system. You don't need to call any further server. So, and then we have a new feature. You can test your API keys directly to the system without making the search and checking out if the API keys are working or not. And then we can also see how the API, the features we have in the system. And then we have notifications improved. We have email, SMS, WhatsApp, and push notifications along with their templates. Then we have internal CRUD system as well. I will also going through the code base so that you can understand how the system exactly is operating technically and the structure wise. And then we have also, based on many of our clients' requests, that we have to add a credit system so that not just the user balance or paying by the credit card. There are some agencies, they work on the credit system. We have also added to the system. And then the last but not the least, we have improved the entire flight module. We are going also to work on the hotels and other modules as well. But the module has been improved a lot more. We have added the luggage and baggage selection, the seat mapping, the refund and cancellation policies, and a lot of many improvements. So let's just start from the first one, the new design and component system. So this is the first look of our product, PHPTRAVELS version 10. This is how it looks. We are still definitely working on the improvements. There are so many things are going to be shown, like the flights, tours. Right now we just have the featured hotels. And this is the search type, the casual one we have, but definitely with the new, before we were using Bootstrap and custom CSS, now we are using purely Tailwind. And these are the components we have, for example, the input, the date selection, and then we have the travelers information and then star rating. And for example, when it comes to the flights, we have one way, round, and even in the multi-city, we did not have that in previous versions. So we will come back to this. Let's just for now go to the components. So this will be not shipped by default, but if any client needs that components, we can also show that, because it will help you to build the UI and the fresh design, everything from scratch. So without the writing, the HTML and the dirty CSS, everything is done as a design system. So you just need to figure out the component you want to use with your system and just copy and paste it. So for example, if you want to implement somewhere in the customization the alert messages, so we have the complete alert messaging over here. You just need to copy the code and implement within the file system you want to. For example, if you have a notifications, you can also check that we have implemented every library is done already by default. You don't need to inject any further libraries or plugins to the system. Then we have baggages. We have definitely, this is completely for the front end. And if you want to work with the progress bar, and then we have all the inputs over here. And we made a very simple classes out of this. For example, if you just need to use a class input when you are using the input. So it makes a very simple for you, even the development, just the one class, and all the design will come along. And then we have a select fields. You can see that we have AJAX request. For example, if we're making any API call to, let's say, to the any server, so there is a search and there is all the selection boxes. So this is the code. It's a very pretty small code base. Then search area, all the components are available. We have made, and we are still working on it to make it more components. For example, if you want to implement any model, we are still working on it. And we have a tab system in the system. Still, our development team is working on it. Accordion, still they are working on it. I haven't checked that. And tables and overlays and tooltips. So this is the components for the upcoming version. And please do not consider the product is ready. We are aiming to release that before end of this year. That's our target, and we are working day and night. And I hope that we can. We are very close to that. So we are done with the components. Now let's move to the modules. Internal code base, not the external. So if you're a technical person, you have been working with PHPTRAVELS, you can see before we were having the modules on other server. So you have to make additional API call, and sometimes you don't have the latest code base on your system. So now we have converted the entire modules into code base. So let me just take you to the code base. This is actually the modules. Let me close it. So this is the entire file structure. We have app folder. In app, we have cache, we have languages, we have libraries, completely done by PHPTRAVELS. For example, we have a authentication, we have constants, we have CRUD, we have CRFs, tokens, we have functions. This is only the library we are using externally. Otherwise, everything has been coded by ourselves. And then we have the routes, for example, the admin routes and the user routes are all available over there. Then we have the vendors. It's a very pretty, very simple libraries. We're not using any complex. And then we have the views. In views, we have themes. In themes, we have the default. So we can also create a multiple themes in Tailwind. We are planning about that as well. And then we have the components over here, which you can, which I have already shown you. Then we have the admin section. All this was, I'm going to take you through every file and every code base. But let me get back to the main point, which is the modules and internal code base. So right now you can see the modules over here. And every module will have a very specific structure to work and go through it. So we have this file called index.php. Actually, the modules itself is a completely another project. It has its own routing. It has its own HTXS file. It has its own even database connections. So for example, let me go to the flights, and in flights, let me check out the Sabre. So no, not the Sabre. Let me check you through the one who has all the routes. So we have a single file for each route. For example, if you want to make the search from the API suppliers, you just need to click on the search.php, and you can see all the code available here. It's just for the search. And then if you want to see the flight details, you can see over here. To check the credentials of the API, this is the, and if you want to cancel or if you want to make the booking. So every module has different file system, and every file contain a different or a specific operation based on your requirements. So we made some things very clear. Before we were using just one file with all the dirty structure of the code base. So let me just close all the files so that we can move forward. So this is how we have the module system. And then we have the install folder. Definitely already know that if you're our previous client, that all the database and the pre-configuration for the installation of the system, we have this file. And before we were using PHP files to connect with the database. Now we have improved the system. Now we are using the environment files .env. This is going to be connected to your database. Then we have the htaccess files. Then we have the .config file. It has all the configurations like currencies, languages, vendors, different libraries. Everything is available in the config. And then we have the index file, which contains all the important, like we are including the routes, we are including the 404 error pages, and then some database connections directly to the database to the file, so that we can optimize the platform to the maximum level. Now, since there are so many things, it's not possible for me to get just one video to explain everything. So I will be trying to make every week new development videos. So now let's go to the API testing modules very quickly. Let me just log in. And also there is another point we just have to cover, that the admin panel merged with the front end. Let's explore these two things. Before, what we are having is that we used to have a separate admin panel, code base and file structure and everything separate. But now we have merged with the current front end. And this is how it works. Now, the customer and the admin, both have the one login page, even the agents or anybody. There is only one page. Before, we are having very different pages for the login, the sign up and everything. Now I'm going to log in as an admin and not as a customer. And this is the admin dashboard, and definitely it's not the final one. We are still working on it. It's going to be improved. We have a lot more features and improvements for this. So I have logged as an admin. From settings, I'm going to modules, and definitely you are going to see a lot of or hell of improvements. I'm very happy and excited that we finally are achieving something we aimed from very many years. So these are the modules for now. For example, we have in hotels, Stuba, Hotel Bears, Hotel Stan, Amadeus, Agoda, Travelport, all these suppliers. For example, in flights, we have all these suppliers. So you can just, enable and disable their status or make the configurations or check the documentation. So for example, on the Sabre, let me just click on the settings. Just to explain how the API testing works. So I am on the credentials page, and once I click on the API, for example, we have to add our credentials like the PCC, the ERP. Please do not copy these credentials. This is our development credentials, the domain and the password. So if I click on the API testing, you can see over here the terminal. It took a very handsome amount of time and effort from us to build this terminal. So I hope you are going to love it. There's a time as well over here, and you can copy the logs. Also, you can send to the API supplier so they can give you the exact reason why your API is not working, if in some cases not working. So that you can see now I have got all the API response, which means these credentials are working fine. And definitely they are the development credentials, not the production one. So in API test, I can see now all the available features like we have, like we can seat map, we can seat selection, we have electricity offers, we have baggage allowance, we have baggage purchase, meal selection, specific services like WeChair, we can request anything. So, and we can do this with any supplier, like every supplier has a different features to offer. For example, let's see with the KV. So you can see I cannot make a seat selection with the KV. I can just search with the single city or multi-city, book and see locations, airlines data, and nomad. That's it. Even we don't have the booking in the KV because it's in affiliate. So this is the testing APIs for the modules. And the other good thing that we did is, before we were using the markup feature very separately rather than the normal modules. But now we have added the markups within the modules. For once you add your API keys, you test the credentials, then you have this option for the pricing configuration. You can add a different percentage or fixed to the markup, like your commission, whatever you want to make out of it. And then we have a B2C as well with the commission, the percentage, and the fixed amount. So we have both options over here. So you just need to add the value and hit the save button. And also you can select the currencies as well. And these currencies are definitely to call this API supplier. So for example, if some supplier does not accept any currency, so you can simply change from it rather than we just add a static one currency. So we have given you this option so you can have multiple currencies option over here. And then we have a documentation and all that stuff, and there's so many things, but let me just take things very quickly. Or let me just go through the admin panel with a little bit more features. For example, on the settings, we have the general settings. We can, like before we have in the previous system, then the SEO settings, then branding, your logo, your fav icon, account settings, and then the contact. And then we have the notifications, which is, we have over here email, SMS, WhatsApp, and all these notifications. And previously we had only one SMTP option, but now we have added, for example, in the email, we have added so many services like Amazon SES, MailChimp, Mailgun, Postmark, SendGrid, and SMTP. You can also test directly your credentials from here. And then we have WhatsApp API connected as well. So you can just add your credentials and test. Then we have SMS notification, then we have push notification. And then you can also set up what notifications you want to be sent in and what not. So there are some fields by default. For example, when you sign up, there has to be some fields required by default, so you cannot change that. For example, verification of emails. Otherwise, you can decide whatever it should be sent or not. And along that, we have notification template as well. So before we don't have that. For example, when it comes to the email, you can customize any email template. We're still working on it, and it's going to be definitely improved. So for example, there is an email verification. You just edit that, and you can see this is the template, and this is the parameter by default. You can add any parameter from the database, from the system. So these are the system parameters, these are the order parameters. So it can be customized further, and it's a completely customizable. For example, some clients used to ask for a multi-language template. So for now, we have a single language, but it helps you, at least you can translate it into your language. For example, if you're working in Persian language, if you're working in Spanish language, you can simply just translate your, you just add your translations over here and add these parameters. So you will get exactly the same email. And now we have user roles. So it's a pretty much more stronger, better than before. For example, let's edit the agent user role. So we have all the user roles. We have the routes, and then we have the permissions. For example, page access, add, edit, view, delete. And the possibilities of creating new user roles are endless. You can create unlimited user roles, whatever you want. You can assign them anything without any limitations. Then we have the multi-languages, then we have multi-currencies, as we have before in the previous version. And then this is one of my most favorite subject and feature to the platform. Now onwards, anybody, like for example, if he has purchased the enterprise package, or previously anybody has purchased the enterprise package, you will get all the updates directly to the system just with one click. For example, when you come over the updates, you just need to click on the updates button to see how many new improvements are there. So our team will be working 24/7, shipping all the updates, and you just need to click one button to update your system. So for example, I coded these files. I made some improvements. For example, in the modules, credentials.php has been removed. We added some files, and some files has been modified. So you will keep installing these updates one by one to the system, so that you will have the latest version all the time. So whenever there is a new update, we might be send you notification, and also within your own system, you can check it within once a month or once a week, or maybe if you have a time every day. So anybody who used to report us any bug, we are going to fix that and ship it globally to every person. So all of our clients are going to be updated all the time without asking us for the support. And it was very complicated again, and thanks to our team, and finally we achieved that. So then we have a system information. We are still working on that. It's not completed yet. Then we have another option this done internal CRUD system. Yeah, so let's just go to see the internal CRUD system, how it works. Before this, we were using some libraries like Xcrud. It was a very complicated, it's outdated as well. So now we we made our own CRUD system, like the add, edit, delete from directly to the database, and it's a very simple CRUD. You know, you see the most of the tables, the database, you see all these CRUDs are generated using our own CRUD system, which is a very simple, very fast. For example, if I click on the currencies, you can also see the same CRUD system over here. So let me just edit any of this. So this is how it works. So let me just show you the code base so that you can understand it much better. Let's just go to the users view file, admin, and then users, or maybe a transactions, so that we can understand it better. So this is just a simple code. Ignore this, it requires a translation. We just need to add the translation. So just a moment, please. So you just need to add this code, almost just 15 lines of code. This is the CRUD table. You select the table name and the columns. If you have any condition, you can also apply the condition, and you can also add the table name. For example, let me go to finance and transactions. These are the columns. We use it over here. These are the names of the columns. And the where condition, because if I'm admin, if I'm someone else, so there are some conditions. And then we can also make a relationship with another table to get the username. Like, for example, we're getting the username over here. And then we have a label. For example, if we want to translation for these table headings, we can translate them to any language. And then we have an order, because we want to we can show the lastest record on the top or the lastest record on the bottom. And then we have some actions, like to show these action buttons over here, because finance doesn't have the action buttons. So let's go to the users to see that in actual. So these are the action buttons, like if you want to show edit, add, and all things. So I'm just showing you guys how even you can modify the system, even make it more better based on your own requirements. You just copy any of the CRUD and just keep modifying or adding directly to the database. So this is how the CRUD system works. We will explain in further with all the documentation. Then we have the user wallet balance and credit system. For example, these are the users in the system, and if we want to add balance or credit to any system, let me edit this user. So I hope you guys like this page. I personally was involved in my team, and we have put a lot of effort to build the credits and the user balance system. So right now, as you can see, we have two options. We have a user balance, which is 0, and we have user credit system. And the payment days, you can also define that. We are still working on it to improve it a little bit more. So right now, if you have any agency working with you, you can simply just define days of the accountability, and then you can add some credits to them. For example, I'm going to manage this client, or maybe the agent. You can see he comes by default over here, and then I add $1,000, and I can add some remarks over here and just submit the credit. And now you can see he has $3,300 as a credit, which he can consume over the booking as a customer. And after exactly 10 days, he's supposed to submit this amount. Let me refresh this page so that you can see. Yeah, so we have now $3,300. You can see, you can change the default currency according to your requirements. So it's a very pretty, most demanded feature for one of the features in our system. And let me go to the search filtration for the seat map. And this is the last thing I'm going to show in this video. Although we have so many things left. We have the transactions, we have credits, and definitely there are so many things are going on. We can even filter the users based on their roles. This is completely dynamic. Whatever the user role you create, you will get over here, so that you can filter it. Or you can also see all the users by default on the system. So right now we have all the last one, the flight filtration and all the things. Let me make this search. First of all, let me see how many modules are enabled in the flights. So we have 3 modules enabled. Let me just make the search because the search is almost done. So I'm searching from Lahore, LHE. We can even type by name or by code, whatever you think is good. So Dubai, date, and I'm going to use one way, economy class, 1 passenger, and search. And now I hope you again like this. We have put a lot of effort in this page as well, and we made it simple as possible and fast as possible. And you could see the system is calling multiple suppliers over here, and the system has found 84 flights from 2 suppliers. One supplier did not reply. So we can see all the flights over here. We can see their details, like from when it's flying, from where it's reaching, and the baggage details and the fare rules. Still improvements are going on, and this data is coming from the server, So we can also make the filtration based on the suppliers as well. For example, if I click on the duffel, now I will see all the response from the duffel. So all the modules you enable, you can filter based on them. And definitely this is just because you are seeing this. This is because you are admin of the portal, not as a client. Client will be not able to see is Sabre, is Duffel, who is the supplier. And then we have the filtration, a very pretty awesome filtration. We have filtration based on stops, based on price range, based on departure time, based on the airline, and based on the supplier. And definitely again, and then we have highest to lowest filtration as well. We never had some of these features before. And once I click on the book now, here is the magic. This is something pretty new. So you can see this is the checkout page, which we never created before. And I hope again you guys are going to love it. So we can select the baggages over here. For example, if something is extra, and this page is still under the observation of the improvements. And then we can select the seat, whatever the seat we want. You can see over the seat as well as here. And then we have some packages. We are still working on this because some websites used to show these packages. So for example, the refundable has a different price than the non-refundable. And for example, if you have a travel insurance, you can also include in that. So it's still under development, not completely done. And then we have the booking page, pretty much awesome and much better than before. If you just click over here, you can see the wire flight as well. So the design has been improved a lot. And this is the customer, the person who is making the booking, and this is the traveler details. And these are the payment gateways. Still, we are not have reached the level of the integrating of the payment gateways. And these are the policies you must be agreed to make to accept the booking. And then we have the currencies option over here. Then we have languages, and then we have currencies. Then we have menus and pages. These are also already done. For example, if I click on the About Us page, if I click on the terms and conditions, the social media pages, the footer and header, everything almost is done. So we are still working on it. We are improving it, and I hope you guys like it, because from last 6 months we have been working very actively on this, and our target is to achieve it before end of this year, even with the minimum features, not all the APIs, not all the suppliers, but at least with the minimum features, but with the good code base, with the good structure, with the good speed improvements, and all the updates will be going to coming to you directly to the portal without requesting anything additionally. And it's highly customizable, extendable. As I said, for the security improvement, everything has been done so much great. So thank you for watching this video. I would love to have more feedbacks from you guys. If you have any ideas so that we can make this product even better, I would love to have that, and my team will be happy to learn from you guys, because you guys are the one who operates the industry. We are just the technology people. And once again, thank you so much. And if you have any question or feedbacks, you can even write it below on this YouTube video as well. So thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye. My name is Qasim.